Hello again, math friends. Welcome to another episode. Today we're looking at solving quadratic equations by factoring. So taking a quadratic equation, finding the solutions or the roots to that equation using the factoring method. So we have to take our quadratic equation and we're going to factor this into two binomials. We need factors of 2. We know that that's going to be an x and that's going to be an x. And we need factors of 2 that will give us a positive 1. So I know that's going to be 2 and 1. In order to get a positive 1, I need this to be positive, that to be negative. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x, negative 1 times x is negative x. If we have 2x and negative 1x, that gives us a positive 1x, and negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. Then we take each part, each binomial, and set it equal to 0. And here, so this is really x minus 1 equals 0. If we add 1, x is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Here we get x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2. Subtract 2. X is negative 2. These are the roots or solution to this quadratic equation, which means that if we were looking at a graph, on the x-axis at negative 2 and on the x-axis at positive 1, this parabola goes through those 2 points in some way. Now what I've drawn is not very accurate, but it does show you that the parabola passes through the x-axis at those 2 points. Alright, let's take this one. Y equals, we know that this is going to factor into 2 binomials. Let me stop there and say that these all aren't always going to factor. The ones on this episode are going to factor, but you will eventually get to where the trinomial won't factor, and you'll have to use another method like quadratic formula. And we'll get to that on another episode. So I need factors of 35 that'll give me 2. That would be 7 and 5. The 2 needs to be positive, so I need positive 7 and negative 5. X times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. 7 times x is positive 7x. That gives me a positive 2x. And positive 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. So x plus 7 is 0, or x minus 5 is 0. Subtract 7. X is negative 7. Add 5. Add 5. X is 5. Okay, on this one we have y equals. Again, we're going to have 2 binomials. And so to get 2x squared, we need to have a 2x and an x. And the only factors of 1 are 1 and 1. So my 2x and my 1x, my outside terms 2x and inside term 1x, those have to give me a positive 1x. So the 2 has to be positive, and the 1 has to be negative. 2x times x, 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. Negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Those give me a middle term of positive x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. 2x minus 1 is 0. Add 1. 2x equals 1. Divide by 2. X is 1/2. And x plus, this is or, x plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1. Subtract 1. X is negative 1. Okay, on this one we need to be a little more careful because my factors of 6x squared are 6x and x, or 3x and 2x. Most of the time I usually go with the obvious, but sometimes I'm wrong. But let's try it out and see. We have 3x and 2x that will give us our 6x. The only factors of 1 are 1 and 1. So our outside terms would give us 3x. Our inside terms would give us 2x. We need a positive x. So this has to be positive. That has to be negative so that those add up to give me positive x. For the 3 to be positive, this 1 has to be positive. For the 2 to be negative, that has to be negative. Now we get 3x minus 1 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. 3x minus 1 plus 1. 3x equals 1. Divide by 3. X equals 1/3. And 2x plus 1 minus 1. 2x equals negative 1. Divide by 2. X equals negative 1/2. So x equals 1/3, or x equals negative 1/2. All right, finally we have y equals 15x squared. And here again, our factors of 15x squared could be 5x and x, or 3x and 5x. Again, I typically go with the obvious ones first, so I'm going to go with 3x and 5x. Then our factors of 4 are 4 times 1, or 2 times 2. Again, I'm going to go with the obvious and try 2 and 2 and see if that works. 3x times 2 gives us outside terms of 6x. 2 times 5x is 10x. For the inside terms, we need a negative 4. This will work if the 10 is negative and the 6 is positive. That gives me my negative 4x. So my 6x has to be positive, and my 10x has to be negative. 3x times 5x is 15x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10x. Those add up to negative 4x. And negative 2 times positive 2 is negative 4. So we set 3x minus 2 equal to 0. Or 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Here we're going to add 2. 3x is 2. Get this out of the way. Divide by 3. X is 2/3. On this side, 5x plus 2, subtract 2 from both sides. 5x is negative 2. Divide by 5. X is negative 2/5. All right, that wraps it up for this episode. Check out all of our videos on our YouTube channel at Mathman1962. Please remember to subscribe. Also remember we have free interactive math activities for drill and practice. These are all at our EdTech website, edtech.dnjdesigns.org. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
If you liked this video, please click on the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please click on the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, please click the bell.